Hello and welcome. This is Sudarshan Kannan from Avaya Services team. This video explains the usage of dunuptool on PAB systems in Avaya Proactive Contact. Dunuptool is a tool to see the status of acquires and releases on a PAB system. It can show information on nailed up control block, user control block, and general release control blocks maintained in system memory by Proactive Contact blend processes. Let's see the usage of dunuptool. So if you just run the command dunuptool, dunup_tool from the admin prompt and enter, it will give you the usage. It says dunuptool space job ID. Now the job ID that we need to use is always 1. So you enter dunup_tool space 1 and enter. It says enter the file name to write output to or enter for std out. You can either give the file name which will store the output of the dunuptool options that you would select subsequently, or if you just enter, you would see the output on your terminal session itself. Now I did a dunup_tool 1 and I got the options print nailed up control block, print user control block, print general release request blocks. I'll hit option 1 for nailed up control block. Under nailed up control block, the sub options that I can see are all data, status only, and print nailed up definitions. Nailed up control block essentially shows all the in progress acquires and established acquires. Suppose I select option 1 for all data, the all data option would show me all the nailed up blocks completely, covering each and every parameter for an in progress acquire call and an established acquire call. It's pretty easy to determine where one block ends and the next one begins. The blocks are separated by dotted lines. This is the first block and these are the parameters of the first block. Then there is this dotted line as a partition, and then the same set of parameters and different values are seen for the next block, which is from here to here. So these are the two blocks. In this example, I have two acquire calls running on the system. Okay, let me go back to the first block. Yeah, so I have two acquire calls running on the system. This is the nailed up control block for the established acquire call, whereas the subsequent one is the nailed up control block for the in progress acquired call. Established acquire call is the one which is answered by an agent and which is connected to an agent extension, whereas an ongoing or an in progress acquire call is the one which is hit the acquired domain but still not reached an end agent extension, which is this. Note that a nailed up control block has fields like user ID, user extension, user name, user ID, user extension, and username here, and these are agent related parameters. However, when an acquire call is going on and an acquire process is still not complete and not hooked up to a particular agent, these agent fields are logically unfilled or not populated. In these cases, the user ID is usually -1, like we see for the in progress acquire call. User extension is blank and the username is 0. For every in progress acquire call which is not yet connected to an agent extension, you would see these logically unpopulated fields for the user related parameters, whereas for a hooked up acquire call which is connected to an agent, you would see a valid user ID. Here the user ID is 0, user extension is 21002, and the username is agent 2. Agent 2 is the agent who has got acquired, and this particular nailed up control block is logically mapped to that particular user since he answered the acquire call. Let's look at the nailed up control definitions. Right now we saw the all data options. Let me show you the definitions which are printed as part of the dunuptool itself. Now we have these definitions like mode, state, ACD permission and ACD response. So option 3, we hit option 3 to see the definitions. We can see the general meaning of the integer values for mode, state, ACD perm and ACD response here. For example, for mode 1, the integer value 1 is for acquiring, 2 is for pre-releasing, 3 is for releasing and 4 is for aborting. For state, the integer value 1 is for inbound, 2 is for inbound pending, 3 is for outbound, 4 is for outbound pending and 5 is for not logged in. Now let's look at option 2 under nailed up control blocks. Option 2 is for status only. So I'll hit option 2 and I'll enter. It shows 2 rows here. It will show only the status of each block in one line. So this is the first block, it is showing in one line. The second block, key parameters, it is showing in one line. Considering the above example of 2 blocks where we saw the complete block, this would be the output of status only. The first row is for the established acquire call, where you can see that the UID is 0, the mode is 1, the online online option is 3, v underscore message is 3, fe underscore notif is 3. So these are all as we saw, the value 3 corresponds to outbound, and this is the ACD mode, which is common in both cases. Some of the key parameters only are shown in the status only option. It doesn't show the complete data of each block, but by this you can actually find out how many acquire calls are connected and how many are in progress. For example, the UID is the user ID. So wherever you have a positive value for the UID, which it means the acquire call is answered and established to an agent, whereas wherever you see a -1, it means the acquire call is still in progress. So by this we can say, just by looking at this, that there's one acquire call connected to an agent which is corresponding to the first row, and there's one acquire call which is still ongoing, still not connected to any agent. So if I see several -1 rows, it means that many acquire calls are still ongoing and unanswered by agents. Then finally Q is to quit and come back to the main menu. I have come back to the main menu. We explored the first option, nailed up control block. Now let's look at the user control block. Option 2, if I hit, it will show me the user control block. This would show only established acquires. That is, it will show only acquire calls that are completed and hooked up to an agent. So if you can correlate this actually corresponds to block 1 data that we saw above. It is showing only block 1 data and just the key fields of block 1 because block 2 is not an established acquire call. So user control block will show only established and connected acquire calls to users. Let's look at option 3 now, general release request blocks. I hit option 3, it says 0 general release control blocks found, 0 general release blocks found by group count, 0 general release blocks found by domain count. At this point, there is no release to inbound happening. Therefore, it shows 0 in all these 3 options. If there is any active release going on, it would show data under these. Finally, we hit option Q to quit out of the main menu, and which would in turn quit out of the dunuptool itself. That's all with the Dunup tool. I hope this particular session was useful. Thank you for watching.